So this is Kari, and I'm here with Colleen and Cheryl, the Consistently Creative crew, and we are assembling the Noteworthy Simple Page Kit number 5 tonight. Colleen did a video recording of the traditional kit layout that Creative Memories put together for us. It's pretty fast and pretty easy with some great colors there for Moms and Mother's Day. And I put together some instructions in case you didn't have the kit, or you had the kit and you liked the layout and you wanted to redo it with some other paper, or if you wanted to put it together digitally using Artisan software. So I'm going to show the assembly of that on this recording. So the information in the PDF instructions, I give the instructions about the designer paper that's actually cut, which, as we saw with the video with Colleen, we ended up with 6 pieces. The dimensions are all here, and one of them has this banner or flag cut in the edge. We ended up with 8 photos. 4 of them are square, and the other 4 are rectangles. And there was some design on the original paper that Creative Memories sent. It has a 4.5-inch strip on the left side, a 9x9 square on the right, and then it has a 4.5-inch strip near the bottom, and they put one of those banner cuts on the right side of it. And everything's 1 inch from the edge except for the square on the right-hand side, which in order to center it, it actually is 1.5 inches from the edge. And then I also have the instructions here for when you want to put on all the photos and all the different pieces that are cut from the one piece of designer paper. It's all here, so if you're doing this digitally, it's pretty easy to have this set of instructions in front of you, and we can do it all together. So before I get started using Artisan, I always like to just take a look at it and say, is there anything on the page that's going to be repeated on both pages? So that way I don't have to redo work. In this case, this one is not really symmetrical. It's not a mirror image of each other. It's not a duplicate, except for the one banner that runs across the page. So what I'm going to do is I am going to copy the page because I want that banner to be lined up perfectly. So it's helpful for me to do that right at the beginning. The other thing that I want to note is that we've got to do these little banner cuts. And in my instructions, just to make it a little bit easier, I did not tilt the purple mats with the photos on them. I don't tend to do that until I'm pretty much done with the layout. If I'm going to put pictures in it or anything like that, I want to do that when I'm finally done. Sometimes I decide to tilt them a little bit, sometimes I don't. So depending on what you're going to do, I do recommend waiting until the end to do that so that you don't end up into something that's rotated differently from something else, and you can always do that at the very end. So I'm going to go ahead and have Artisan up here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to first start out by putting in a 12x12 rectangle as my base. And I'm going to go ahead and insert shape, rectangle 12x12. And I'm going to use the quick access toolbar to align that at 0 and 0. And the reason I do that, if I don't know that I've mentioned this for a long time, if you decide you have maybe a busy paper and you want to lower the opacity of it, if you lower the opacity of a piece of paper, it just changes the opacity level of it. If instead you take the background, I'm going to go ahead and fill the background with this so you can see what it looks like. If I do it in the background and I lower the opacity, I end up getting these checkerboard image on it. And that's really not the way that the paper it's going to print, but because it's the background, it forces it to do that. So I tend to leave the background white all the time and put a piece of paper on top of that, and if in case I want to lower the opacity. So I'm going to go ahead and take that background and make it white again. And I'll show that other piece of paper that I had on top of it. And now I'm going to do the 4.5 inch strip that went across the page. So that would be, I'm going to change the color of this to kind of a light teal-ish color. And this one, I want it to go across the page, so it's 12 and it's 4.5 inch wide. And I want it to be 1 inch from the bottom edge of the page. So I can try to eyeball it here by looking at where it needs to be. And I can see from this, if I want that bottom edge to be at about 11 inches, I can try to eyeball it and get it close, but just because it's math, I know that it needs to be, the top will end up needing to be at 6.5. So I can't actually use my X and Y on the quick access toolbar at 0 and 6.5. And if you don't want to do the math in your head, you can actually just slide it close and see where you are, and wherever that round number is near that, you should be able to get that to work out. So this is basically what I'm really going to need on the other page. But because I'm going to go ahead, I'll just keep on designing it and then delete things as I need it. So I am also going to need another rectangle that is the same dimensions, but I want it vertical. So 4.5 by 12. And this one in the sample was a dark green, kind of like that. And this one I also know is 1 inch over. And since it's 1 inch over, it's got to be at an X of 1 and a Y of 0. And those colors are not looking like they're going to go well together. So I'm going to go ahead and just change one of those to be a little bit lighter. Yeah, that'll be okay. And that is basically the background of my page. So let me just show the layout. So you can see here, I have 2 vertical photo mats, 2 horizontal photo mats, and this flag piece. So I can go ahead and do those. So my vertical photo mat is a 4x6. So I'm going to go ahead and insert a rectangle 4x6. And this was another shade of green. There was a lot of green on this layout. And that's going to be somewhere up there. I don't know exactly. I'm going to go ahead and put the photo on top of it. That one's going to be 3.5 by 5.5. And I'm going to go ahead and select both of them and get them aligned with the quick access toolbar, the 2nd and the 5th. I am going to group them together because I just want to copy and paste them, and I can use the toolbar up here at the top, home, edit, copy, paste. And now I've got both of them there. I don't have to redo them. I have those red, or I guess red color mulberry, I guess is a good color for it. That is going to be 4x3. See if I can find a mulberry in the, like that. And click create. And since I need 2 of these, I'm going to go ahead and put in the photo frame at the same time. So this one is going to be 3.5 by 2.5. And I'm going to align them again with the alignment helper here in the quick access toolbar, the 2nd and the 5th. And again, I'm going to group, right click, grouping group, and I'll copy and paste using my mouse. Right click, copy, right click, paste. And then I've got those two. And they were aligned so that the top of each of these was aligned together. I'm going to go ahead and just align them. And then the bottom of these two were aligned together. And I think we're good. And then the only thing left is the banner piece with the flag cutout. So I'll go ahead and do that. That was a 2x4 rectangle with a cutout. And that was this light green. And since we need to do a cut on that, I will go ahead and do that before I go over to the other page. So I find that the easiest way to do that is to have it selected, go to cut, cutter's shape, and yes, to flatten is fine. And I like to just use the isosceles triangle. So that is in our built-in kits, and there's an isosceles triangle here. So I can select that if it wasn't already selected. I know that the width of the rectangle that I'm trying to cut is 2 inches, so I'm just going to enter that into the size. And I like to use a 0.5 height on my triangles for this. That seems to give a nice cut, especially for most of these narrower width banners. Okay, so now I've got to pause. I want to keep the unshaded area because I want to keep the majority of the banner, and I'm going to click cut. And now this banner should be underneath that photo. And I'm going to slide the other screen down here so you can see it. So you can see I've got my 4 photos. I've got the background paper, which I will end up changing out. I've got this paper here. They have embellishment clusters and a border sticker strip here, so I can easily add that in once I have my photos in. And I'm going to save it, and then I'm going to go over into my pages. And for this one, I'm going to go ahead and just duplicate it because I'm just going to end up keeping a lot of some of what I have and just changing some sizes. All right, so instead of rebuilding everything, I'm just going to get rid of this mulberry. I'm going to get rid of one of these, and I'm going to get rid of the banner strip. So this one is what I want on this page, but I want it cut out. So since I just did that cutout, I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So again, I have it selected. I'm going to go cut, cutter's shapes. Yes, okay to flatten. Now this time I need that triangle rotated, and I'm going to just use the angle measurement here just to rotate it 90 degrees. And you can see that's going to be the wrong way. So I can go negative 90 degrees, or I could go 180, but now I've got it. Okay, so now this one is 4.5 and 0.5. And you might feel like that 0.5 is a little bit too narrow for this one, which is fine. You could always increase it by dragging it out here. You could do it by putting in a specific measurement. 1 inch might actually look a little bit better, but whichever way you want to do it is fine. So in this one, I still want to keep the unshaded area and cut. And you can see I did not do a very good job on that cut. So I want to go back in. So I'm going to undo and go to cut cutter shapes again, because I did not line it up very well. I wasn't on the edge. Now I should be good. Keep the unshaded and cut. Okay. All right, so the next things that I want to do is this. I'd really like to turn it into that green base that's on the left page. So I'm just going to change the width and the height to 9 by 9 instead of creating a whole new shape. And I'm going to go to the home and I'm going to arrange and align it and center it on the page. So that's done. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ungroup these other two. And I'm going to select the light green because I think that's what it was. And this one I want to be 8 by 8. And I need that centered on the page, so I can just center it on the page. And then the photo mats are all 3.5 by 3.5 inch square. And I'm going to end up needing 4 of them. So I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste. So I end up with 4. And it really doesn't matter your order or how you put them in, because you can always use the alignment tools to help yourself out. So what I like to do is I like to get them pseudo arranged and then kind of decide where do I think I want them. And I can use the alignment guides here. As you can see on my screen, they're kind of purple, but they're now aligned. So the tops and the sides and the bottoms in each of those 4 are together, but I want to group them and then just get them truly in the center of the page. So they're centered on the entire layout and ungroup. And I think that's everything. So I'm going to show the screen again. So I did the banner cut. I've got this double mat with the 4 photos. They've got some embellishments over here. So I think, oh, as I look at this, I have the left page on the right and the right page on the left. So I'm just going to drag it like that. And I will show you the 2 separate pages here fairly quickly. I'm going to go ahead and work on assembling my layout with some photos. So I'll pause the recording and we will be back in a little while. So Cheryl worked on her traditional layout while we were all still working here, and she did some adaptations to do the layout just a little bit differently. So instead of doing 2 vertical photo mats with the larger ones, she put 1 vertical, 1 horizontal, and then she stacked the plum or mulberry colored, whatever. Yeah, those which were tilted and before, but left the banner in the same area. It looks like you used some of the same embellishments, put mom up in the top corner. Really nice. I like the way that turned out. Very nice.
Very nice.
All right. Anybody else want to share their screen?
Oh, you ready for that?
Sure.
Okay, let me get my camera.
All right. So I'm gonna
Ooh.
spotlight this. Okay.
Oh, very
Oh,
nice.
nice. Very nice.
That looks
Oh, it's
great.
Niagara.
Yeah, that
It
looks really
is.
nice. What kit were you using?
I was using Living in the Moment bundle by Laura Berger.
Nice. Oh, we like Laura Berger, don't we?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Looks nice. I like it. All right. Miss Cinda, you want to share yours?
Sure. Don't ask me who I used. I just used oceans and beaches and lakes.
That's okay.
I have no idea who I used. Oh. It says I cannot, and while somebody else is sharing.
Try again.
Here we go.
Okay. Ooh.
Nice.
Oh, I like it.
Thank you. And that was 2 days ago, me chasing the crane.
I
Oh
was
my.
gonna say that looks really familiar. It was
Yeah,
like
I
we
know,
were
it
on the other
does.
night.
I was.
I love
I
it. Oh, and I
was
love
seeing him in
that crane.
binoculars. we seen him in binoculars and I wanted to see how close I could get. So when the
Um,
girls left, it got quiet with no dogs and I was able to get up close and personal.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
very
thank you.
nice. I like
All
it.
right.
Awesome. All right, and I will share mine. I was struggling with paper. I'm not sure if I'm still happy, but I used Boho Escape.
Oh, I like that paper.
Oh, nice.
That's
Oh, you
nice. I
got
like
birds too.
it. I did, which is part of
And
why
a
I was
crab.
yes, and a cat.
And
This
cat.
was
And a
bird stuff
crab.
that we saw when we were on the Jamaica trip, and
Mm,
Oh,
but
I love that.
oh, thanks, thank you. So
cute.
there was all these words in the kit I was using, and it
Yeah.
was all a bird kit except for this. It said not a bird. I'm like, I'm gonna use that.
That was perfect for
It
Krabby.
worked.
And then I thought Nemesis worked also to put the cat down there with the
Perfect.
bird. So
Is that a digital one then?
yeah, yeah, it's a digital one with the Creative Memories boho.
Oh, all right.
But the bird is from a bird kit that was not Creative Memories. It was Animal House Birds Bundle.
That's Creative Memories boho paper.
This was, yeah, Boho Escape. So,
Well, I'm gonna have to go buy something again tonight.
oh my. Yeah, Boho Escape was one of their tropical kits that they had a
Was out.
couple of years ago. It was very popular for quite a while. So,
See if it's still there since they brought back a few.
yeah, I can double check the list here. It is back because it's on
All
the
right.
big list. So,
Oh,
Yeah, I like that.
yeah, you know what? I think I'll pause the recording and I'll pull up that list just in case people don't have it. So I was just mentioning that Creative Memories has recently brought back their digital artwork. And as a result, they also provided us with this handy dandy checklist of all of the artwork kits that are available in digital. And this is available through the end of the month. So they do have them grouped by category. So there are a couple pages. There's 3 pages long. But we were just discussing Boho Escape is listed on here, so I know that it is out and available, so people who want to use it can do that. But if you are a digital scrapbooker and you maybe missed out some of these kits when they were first available, now is a good time. And if you notice, they even have Croptoberfest kits back from 2019 and NSDs from 2019. So there's a lot of things that go back a number of years, and they do have them grouped by themes, so you can always take a look and see if there's anything in here that you want to get. And they have this very big group called Other, which has some secret box and some Black Friday kits and a couple of other things in here. So we'll post that onto our Facebook group, but just wanted to share that with you in case that might be helpful. And again, tonight we put together the Noteworthy Simple Page Kit number 5. We did it digitally, we did it traditionally, and some of us will share some of our pages on our Facebook group. So thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Thanks, Kurt.
bye.